Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually joined by my boyfriend Dan, who hasn't actually been in a video for like ages, and I feel like after this week you won't actually be in another video for like a while, which is actually kind of sad.
I'm happy to be here now.
But since last Thursday was actually Dan and I's 3-year anniversary, he is going to be staying here for a few days. So we thought today to film a little Q&A for you guys. I also thought it'd be quite a good time to film, considering I've actually been in Portsmouth now for like a month, which is quite scary to think how fast time is going, and I've got so much to catch you up on. If you're new here, I'm currently starting my master's degree at the University of Portsmouth, and I'm going to be here for the next year. All that rhymes. So in this Q&A, we're going to be talking all things masters, Portsmouth, how we're managing our long distance relationship, and so much more. So if you do like the sound of today's video, make sure to go smash that like button right now. It really helps my channel. And if you're new here and you'd like to see more university and lifestyle content, make sure to go click that subscribe button as well. Also, if you'd like to take part in future Q&As like this one, make sure to go head over to my Instagram at GaiaX and follow it. It's a great way to keep up with my life when I'm not posting YouTube videos. By the way, as you guys are probably aware, we are currently sat on my bedroom floor since this is quite good lighting, and hence why you can see my laundry basket in the background, but LED lights make a nice touch to the video. So yeah, we're currently sat on the floor and it's really hard, and I've offered Dan a pillow but he said no, so we'll see how long you last.
My cheeks are a pillow.
Your cheeks? Okay. Anyway, so first question is, do you feel settled in Portsmouth now? Definitely. If you've seen my move-in vlog or like my first week at uni, I did have a few like low moments just because it really hit me how I was in such a different like place, not just location wise, but also I am actually back at university, and I've not been a proper university student since 2020 because of the pandemic, and then also because of my extension year last year. So at first it felt really weird to be doing this again, and also to have moved to a new city, but I am literally thriving. Like, I've fully settled. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
You know your way around, don't you?
Yeah, I think I've started to get a good grip on like where to go now in Portsmouth. I feel like I've mastered the route to university as well. You know, I've got the uni bus timetable down, worked out which buses not to get and what times to avoid because it's so busy. I've also had chance to like venture out of campus, check out some of the sites. I've been to the beach, but I do feel like I'm starting to get my bearings. Next question is, how are you finding your masters and have you made any friends? I'm really enjoying it currently. It's definitely quite intense. Like literally within the first week they were like,
what is your dissertation topic? Like, you need to start thinking about it.
I was like, oh my god, that's terrifying. Like, I've been telling you about this, haven't I? I've been having a few stressful conversations where I've been like, oh gosh, what do I do my topic on? But like, I am really enjoying it. It feels so nice to actually be able to do what I want to do, like module wise. Like, I'm not having to just waste a year doing modules that I don't really care about to get to the next stage. Like, I can actually just enjoy it. All of the professors and lecturers are just so funny and so engaging. Like, honestly, I love them all, and that's not me being all like trying to promote University of Portsmouth, being like, oh my god, this place is amazing. They just really make you want to learn, which I think is going to be so important this year because it is a lot more intense than my undergrad. Regarding friends, I have definitely found a lovely friendship group. We all started actually talking through Facebook a few weeks before we all met, and then we kind of decided to go out for drinks, which you'll have seen if you watched my Freshers Week vlog. You'll have seen Izzy and Jackie. There's a few others in the friendship group as well who you might actually see over the next few weeks in the vlogs. You've met them. You met them on Thursday.
I did. Yeah, really lovely people.
That was really cool actually to see like almost my two worlds collide, because you're like my world at home. Now that I've been in Portsmouth for like a month, I've started to develop like my world within Portsmouth and like my routine there. So it feels really crazy to have like both worlds collide. I feel like that sounds really like dramatic, but like, thanks. I just know this year is going to be great. I obviously don't want to jinx it, but like I can already just tell from the way that I've settled in, everything's just falling into place. Like everything is just happening the way I wanted it to be. My undergraduate experience was quite rocky at times, and I didn't have the best friendship group, so to have found such a lovely group of girls in such a short space of time as well, and we're literally all on the same wavelength, we all just get each other, it's just really nice and refreshing. My next question is, how different is masters to undergrad? Whether you are gonna get to answer a question in a second. I feel like the main difference between masters and undergrad is the fact that it's just so intense, which I feel like sounds really silly, but because you're doing your undergrad for 3 years, you get used to that like style of learning. And even though masters is similar in the sense that, you know, you have your lectures, you have your seminars, you have independent work, there's a lot more independent work in your masters. You know, there's less contact hours. My busiest day is pretty much Thursday. That's like from 10 till 4:30, but apart from that, most of my week is pretty empty, which sounds great until you realise how much pre-reading you have, and that is another difference when it comes to masters and undergrad. It's almost like all of that wider reading that you had to do in undergrad is just the pre-work that's expected of you, so you know what you're doing in the lecture, and then on top of that, the wider reading of master's level and like extension work and that stuff. So there's just so much. So yeah, it is definitely a lot more intense than undergrad, and I think I'm starting to get into a flow of it. You just have to be very organized, and I find time blocking like your entire week really helps like ensure that you do have enough time to do that reading, because it always takes longer than you expect. That was such a long-winded answer. Oh my god, that fly. I think you hit it. Where did it go? It went somewhere. We're currently being attacked by a fly, by the way, guys. Okay, next question is, what's the longest you've gone without seeing each other? Probably lockdown.
Lockdown was about 3 months, wasn't it?
No, I feel like there was more than that. No, 5 months. For the third UK lockdown, I went from seeing you, I think the last time I saw you was December 2020 to then the end, the middle of April, because that was when we were allowed to like start socialising like in pubs or like outside. So for those who didn't know, Dan and I got together in October 2019. Everything was fine, we were loving life until obviously COVID hit. Most of our relationship has actually been in lockdown.
Didn't know that was a seagull.
Is that your impression of a seagull?
Yeah. Sounds more like a seal. Huh? Can you do an impression of a seagull? That was the same as mine. Like a dolphin.
Yeah, I can't do impressions. Yeah, I think the longest we haven't seen each other is 5 months. Which is crazy, because I couldn't imagine doing that now.
It felt like ages as well.
So my next question is, how do you get on with your flatmates? Did you know any of them beforehand? Luckily this year I actually get on really well with my flatmates. They're all lovely. Basically I didn't know them beforehand. Before I applied to the University of Portsmouth, I've never actually been to Portsmouth like ever in my life, so I literally knew like no one here apart from maybe a few people that like I kind of knew through Instagram. So when it came to wanting to find student accommodation, I decided on living in a house because I didn't want to live in the halls for my masters. So I just looked around Facebook groups, see if they needed like an extra person, and I found these guys. They all also go to the University of Portsmouth, but they're either I think in 2nd or 3rd year, so I'm the eldest in the house. But yeah, we literally get on like house on fire. Like it's lovely. I feel like I've finally broken the curse of awful flatmates, because if you've been with me for a while, you know that I've had so many like I've just had so much bad luck. I don't know what's wrong. Like I've kind of seen it all, you know. I've had messy flatmates. They'll literally leave dishes in the sink for weeks and go moldy. I've had loud flatmates where like they're blasting D&B at 4 AM. I've had people eating my food. I've had people literally like harassing and bullying me. You'll remember that if you've seen my moving out of my 2nd year house. Unfortunately, one of them decided to get bored and throw an egg at my window. Looking back now, I'm just like, why? So that's why this time I'm so glad. Like I don't think I can fully like put into words how relieved I am that I'm actually living with really nice people. You know, we actually do things together as a house as well. You know, we'll have games night. So I've just realised this Q&A is very aimed at me. There are questions to you.
It's like a life of day. I'm just there for the company, you know.
My next question is, got any favourite things about the course so far? I think my favourite thing about the course so far is how practical it is. It just makes a really nice change to undergrad, where it was like all lecture theatres and seminar rooms, which is okay to a point. Like, you know, I love theory and all that philosophical side to university, but I just love how there are certain elements of my modules that are really practical. Like for my forensic investigation module, we are learning like practical skills that you need as a CSI when you're out in the field, you know, with a crime scene. Obviously we're not going to actual crime scenes, it's just like fake mock-up ones, but even that itself is really cool. All of that fingerprint dust, like the aluminium powder, and all the chemicals and equipment that you would use if you needed to swab for blood. So during some of my contact hours for forensic investigation are like 4-hour-long practicals, which when I originally saw the timetable for the year, I literally like nearly died inside. I was like, how can I sit through 4 hours? So I think having that practical element really helps like keep me awake and engaged, and like, oh my god, there's a fly. This fly actually hates me. He's out for my blood. Oh my god, it's come back. I love living in student accommodation. Like, what's the thing that you find the coolest about my course that you've heard?
I got a text saying that you've got a crime scene set up with like full on evidence stings and like, and I was just like, wow, That's so cool.
For forensic investigation, in our practicals, we have to like go down into the basement of the building that I'm in, which also, by the way, isn't a university building, it's a police building. Like, we have to wait outside and like they let us in. It's all like really fancy and scary at times because I keep thinking, oh my god, they're gonna arrest me if I do like the wrong thing. Like, because it actually looks even creepier once you get into the basement because it's divided up into like what I call like jail cells. But in each cell, they have like a crime scene set up. Not a legit crime scene as in like someone actually died there, but they will have like a broken chair, they will have some blood splattered on that chair. Obviously it's not human blood. I've just realised this sounds really bad. All that stuff that you do see in like CSI programs with all like the police tape and like the hazmat suits and stuff. So I'm glad you find that interesting too.
Yeah, no, yeah, I always found that's cool when you told me about that stuff.
Your seagulls are relentless today.
But in slow motion, so it looks like. That's funny.
Okay. So the next question is, will you have a part-time job during your masters? Yes, definitely. Technically, I actually already have one, but I'll get to that in a sec. For most people, or at least in my case, your postgraduate loan doesn't cover the entire of your rent and your tuition fees. In undergrad, you do get 2 separate loans, you know, one for tuition, one for maintenance. Whereas for your postgrad, you get like a lump sum of like, I think it's like £11,800, which sounds like a lot, but master's courses are normally more expensive than your undergrad course. I think mine's like 9,400. So if you take that from 11,800, you know, you're not left with a lot. I found myself in that situation where I've now got to find like 4 grand suddenly in this next year to pay for my rent. So securing a part-time job was definitely a priority for me this year. You'll probably already know this if you follow my LinkedIn, which sounds really niche, but I did share on there that I have actually recently secured the role of a university ambassador at University of Portsmouth. I loved doing this type of role at Nottingham University, so I'm looking forward to carrying that on and representing a new university. I'm also in the process of securing a second job. I don't have a lot of financial support this year. I barely have any apart from the loan, so if I don't have as many hours with the university ambassador role, it would be really helpful to have that second job, even though I don't know how I'm going to be able to juggle 2 jobs, my master's degree, YouTube, and have a social life and somehow have time for myself. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so the next question is tips for long distance. So I'll let you start off with that one.
Cool. Right, yeah, so tips. Tip number 1, FaceTime. We were saying this. What's a good thing we can do?
FaceTime.
FaceTime literally is the best because like when you can't see the person in person, like when I'm not this close, FaceTime's the next best thing.
Like obviously it's not the same as them being in the room, but like
like that.
like that, but I think because the majority of our relationship was in lockdown, we ended up getting really good at FaceTime. It's not like it replaces being together and seeing each other face to face, but it's very easy to just pick up the phone, FaceTime Dan, and then pick up from where we left off, if you know what I mean. I feel quite blessed in the fact that I don't think we've ever really like had a moment where we run out of conversation or like topics or like life updates to share with each other. It's like I'll literally call you up and be like, help, I'm having a breakdown, can I run this by you? But I can't talk for long. It's literally like a 10-minute phone call, that's it, I promise. And then like 3 hours later we'll only just end the call, and I feel quite grateful that we are in that position where we can do that, because I know not all couples are great with FaceTime.
I think another useful thing is to just make sure you make time for each other. You schedule a FaceTime. But
also I feel like it really helps when you like schedule in like when you're next going to see them, or like plan little cute dates, or like the next time I was going to see you was this week, with it being our anniversary. So we spent like a night being like, right, okay, let's plan a few things to do while you're here to make us like more excited about it. I think we've been lucky in the way that unfortunately because of lockdown we've had lots of practice to get good at kind of long distance. I made sure over the summer to see Dan like every so often. I didn't see you every day, but I saw you. We made like sure weekend. We made sure to like have gaps of time between seeing each other, so it wasn't like we were going from seeing each other every single day to like cold turkey and it'd just be too extreme. I don't want to make that seem as though like, oh bye, I'm not going to see you for another year, like yeah, literally. I think it's really important to remember that this is a massive, or it can be a massive like adjustment period for you if you're in a long distance relationship. Don't put so much pressure on it to like work out immediately, because that might not be the case. I know when I first moved here I had a bit of a wobble. Dan had a bit of a wobble back home, but everything's like a lot better now, so don't expect everything to run smoothly in the first few weeks. You know, it is an adjustment period, it's a massive change in your life, or at least your routine. There can be so many different things happening at once, so the last thing you need to do is like put loads of pressure on yourself to be like everything's gonna be amazing, because sometimes it isn't, and that's also okay. That doesn't mean that like your relationship's on the rocks, or like, I don't know, that you guys just aren't gonna work out, or like the situation isn't gonna work out. Just hang in there. You're so weird.
Hello, darling.
How different is Portsmouth to Nottingham? I think you can definitely comment on this one, because you know, you've visited Portsmouth enough times now. You've started to get a bit of a sense. I feel like Portsmouth and Nottingham are actually quite similar, which is part of the reason why I moved here. I like the fact that they're both relatively small cities. Like if you just focus on Nottingham city centre and then compare it to Portsmouth, they're very similar. But obviously if you were to compare it to Nottinghamshire, obviously Portsmouth seems a lot smaller, but they're very similar in terms of the leisure facilities, eateries, like transport links. I like the fact that you can walk pretty much everywhere in Portsmouth and Nottingham. Obviously the main difference between Portsmouth and Nottingham is the fact that Portsmouth is literally like by the sea, like literally on the edge. Like it is really down south compared to Nottingham. So yeah, I'd definitely say the biggest difference is the fact that Portsmouth, you literally can like walk like 10 minutes and there's a beach, whereas Nottingham is just slap bang in the middle of the UK.
Like I thought Portsmouth was going to be bigger than Nottingham, but then the first day I was here, the first full day, Gaia was at uni, and I was like, right, I'll go explore. And like I was just on Google Maps the entire time, like, where the heck am I going? And then I was surprised, a miracle, I didn't walk into the sea, to be honest.
I was very concerned.
Where am I going?
And then the last question for today is, have you changed your approach for Portsmouth compared to Nottingham?
Have you?
I think so. I feel like when I started at Nottingham Friend back when I was 18, I was a very different person. I still was quite naive about, I guess, what I wanted, whereas now, you know, 4 years later, I know what I want now. I know what my priorities are after going through university already once and not having, say, the university experience I expected. This has been a great opportunity to kind of redo that, but this time head towards the things I want to do.
From what I've taken, obviously, I don't know what you were like when you first moved to Nottingham, but I noticed that she was a lot more excited for this one because of what the course has said. She literally showed me on like the first day, she was like, oh my god, look at this, the mind of a killer, oh my god. And I was just like, whoa, this is right up her street. So I think the excitement's been there. I've been super excited for it.
I really want to push myself and do as well as I can, and just be a lot more proactive in my learning as well. So yeah, I think I am definitely going to be taking a different approach. I just feel like I've got my together more this time. I think these are the moments where I do feel older, like I feel like time has passed, because I do just feel like a completely different person, but it's for the better, and I'm excited for what this year will bring. So that's it for today's questions. I really hope you enjoyed watching today and finding a bit more about how life is going for me in Portsmouth and how we're managing our long distance relationship. Thank you so much to everyone who sent in some questions. So if you did enjoy listening to today's little Q&A and life update, make sure to go smash that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe if you're new here. After this video, we're going to get back to all the really exciting uni vlogs where I take you onto campus and show you what I do for the next few weeks with my university degree, so I really can't wait for you to join me with that. Unfortunately, this little face will not be in any of those videos, but you will see him very soon, hopefully. But yeah, other than that, I've been Gaia.
I have been Daniel's son.
Yeah, and and I'll see you next week for more content. Bye.
Bye.
Oh.